Have you ever thought of someone and they called you the very next moment? Or stumbled upon a symbol, a number, a phrase, repeated across dreams, clocks, and strangers' conversations, too precise to be random? What if I told you it wasn't? There are no coincidences, only messages, hidden in plain sight, whispered by the fabric of reality itself. Welcome to a truth that most ignore, yet it governs the flow of your life with surgical precision. This is the world of synchronicities, those strange, serendipitous alignments that defy logic and dance on the edges of time and reason. Carl Jung called them meaningful coincidences, but the ancients knew them as something far more sacred. Signs from the universe, echoes from the divine, pulses from the matrix that binds all things. In this video, we're not just going to explain synchronicities, we're going to reveal what they truly are. We'll journey through ancient civilizations that decoded cosmic patterns, examine the metaphysical forces that connect your thoughts to the outer world, and uncover why these coincidences seem to strike hardest during your spiritual awakening. But be warned, once you begin to see the code, you can never unsee it. You'll discover that life isn't just happening to you, it's happening with you. And the universe, it's been speaking all along, you just weren't listening. So if you've ever felt that something or someone was guiding you behind the veil of ordinary life, you're not imagining things. You're waking up. Let's pull back the curtain. Long before psychology coined the term synchronicity, ancient civilizations were already mapping the subtle architecture of reality. The Egyptians believed that the gods spoke not in words, but in signs, omens that appeared in dreams, in the sky, or through the mouths of strangers. To them, nothing was random. Every bird's flight, every flicker of a candle, was a message in disguise. In the Vedic traditions of India, this idea was known as Urta, the cosmic order, a divine intelligence weaving synchronicity into the very fabric of existence. The sages of the Upanishads whispered of a universe where inner thoughts and outer events were mirror reflections of the same divine source. In the West, the Hermetic philosophers taught that, as above, so below, as within, so without. They weren't speaking in metaphor, they meant it literally. Your inner world creates ripples in the field of reality, which then echo back to you in the form of events, encounters, and epiphanies. But somewhere along the path of modernity, we stopped listening. Rationalism, science, and industrialization severed our relationship with the mystical. We were taught to see patterns as coincidence, intuition as folly, and divine timing as mere luck. Yet the ancients would argue, there is no such thing as luck. Synchronicity, they'd say, is the universe's language for those fluent in silence. It's not that the messages disappeared, we simply lost the decoder. And that's precisely why this knowledge has been misunderstood, even ridiculed. Because to understand synchronicity, one must surrender control, let go of logic, step into mystery. And mystery, in a world obsessed with certainty, is dangerous. But for those brave enough to look closer, it becomes a path, not to knowledge, but to gnosis, direct experience of the divine design. So what exactly is synchronicity? It's not mere chance, it's not causality in the traditional sense. It's meaning without a visible cause, events connected not by logic, but by purpose. Imagine life as a tapestry. Every thread, every choice, every thought, every encounter intertwines with unseen threads of others. You can't always trace how or why the patterns form, but sometimes something pierces the veil. A thread glows. A moment aligns so perfectly, it feels orchestrated. That's synchronicity. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychoanalyst, observed this through decades of therapy. He noticed patients dreaming of symbols that later appeared in their waking life. They'd meet strangers who seemed to answer questions they never spoke aloud. For Jung, these weren't accidents. They were bridges between the psyche and the cosmos. He believed synchronicities were guided by what he called the collective unconscious, a realm of archetypes and energies that we all share beneath the surface of personal awareness. When the conscious and unconscious align, the external world responds with a mirror, a message, a moment that affirms you're on the right path. But Jung was only reviving something ancient. In alchemical traditions, this alignment was known as the coincidence of opposites, when the material and the spiritual converge in symbolic events. In Kabbalah, it's called Hashgacha Pratit, divine providence showing its hand through daily life. In Taoism, it's the Tao itself guiding the flow when the ego surrenders. Yet in every tradition, the teaching is the same. These signs appear most often when you are on the cusp of transformation. Have you noticed? During heartbreak, awakening, when you question everything. That's when synchronicities erupt, like the universe is tapping you on the shoulder saying, "Don't look away. This matters." And yet, not all signs are created equal. Some are nudges, subtle clues. Others are tests, misleading patterns meant to sharpen your discernment. Because not every alignment is divine. Some are echoes of your fears, not your truth. So how do you tell the difference? By tuning in. Watching not just with the eyes, but with the soul. Synchronicities are invitations. They are not commands. The choice is always yours. But once you begin to recognize them, life ceases to be ordinary. It becomes a conversation. Recognizing synchronicities is not a gift, it's a practice. To begin hearing the universe whisper, you must first quiet the noise, and that starts with presence. 1. Cultivate stillness. Every morning before the world enters your mind, sit in silence for just 5 minutes. Breathe, feel, listen. Synchronicities don't shout. They emerge in the spaces between your thoughts. The more silent you become, the louder they speak. 2. Journal the patterns. Write down every coincidence you encounter, no matter how small. Seeing 11:11, a song repeating, a stranger speaking the exact words you were thinking. Over time, a pattern emerges. You'll start to realize it's not random. It's a map, a personal language only the universe speaks, and only you can decode. 3. Set clear intentions. Before sleep or meditation, ask the universe a question, not with desperation, but with curiosity. Show me if I'm on the right path. What should I focus on next? Then release the need for an answer. The reply may not come in words. It may be a book that falls off the shelf, a chance meeting, or a sudden insight. 4. Strengthen intuition. Your body is a tuning fork. When you sense a gut feeling, don't dismiss it. Test it. Synchronicity often speaks through your intuitive sense, those moments when something just feels right or deeply familiar. The more you follow that pull, the more the universe responds. 5. Beware the ego's trick. Not all patterns are divine. Sometimes the ego creates illusions, false synchronicities born from obsession or fear. If a sign makes you feel anxious, forced, or desperate, pause. True synchronicity comes with a sense of flow, not fixation. 6. Embrace the unexpected. Synchronicities often arrive when logic fails, when a door closes and another opens in the strangest way. Don't ignore these moments. Explore them. Say yes to what feels aligned, even if it makes no sense on paper. That's the path of the mystic. Over time, you'll begin to live in what some call a non-linear reality, where cause and effect blur, and life feels more like a dream unfolding than a clock ticking. That's when you're truly aligned. Synchronicity is not something you chase, it's something you allow. And the more you listen, the more life reveals that it was never random. It was always waiting for you to awaken. So now you know, nothing is coincidence. Those repeating numbers, those chance encounters, the dream that came true years later, it's all part of a grand, intricate dialogue between you and the universe. Synchronicities are not magic tricks. They're reminders. Reminders that you're not lost, not alone, and not just drifting through chaos. You are connected to something vast, ancient, intelligent. Every soul receives signs, but only a few learn to read them. The mystics called this the language of the soul. The scientists call it quantum entanglement. The poets call it fate. But beneath all names, it's the same truth. Reality is conscious, and you are a participant in its unfolding. The next time something strange happens, something too perfect, too personal, too timely, don't brush it off. Pause. Listen. What were you thinking in that moment? What question was heavy in your heart? What door might be opening that your mind hasn't caught up to yet? Because once you accept that the universe is communicating with you, every moment becomes a message. Every pattern, a portal, every coincidence, a key. The question is, will you unlock the door? If this video stirred something in you, trust that it was meant to. Maybe this is your sign. And if you feel the pull, don't keep this to yourself. Share it. Comment your own synchronicities below. You never know who else needs the reminder that nothing is random. Because when you start to walk in alignment, the universe doesn't just whisper, it sings.